If you're spending all your time chasing women, this is a surefire way to stay broke, weak, stuck, and quite honestly, get less women in your life. What's up? My name is David J. Kelly. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I talk about everything to help you grow as a man, whether that's in the gym, in your personal life, in your career. I want to help you level up in every capacity. If that sounds like you, make sure you click subscribe. Without further delay, let's get into the video. One of the hardest facts that I've had to learn in my growth as a man, and just by observing other men in their lives as well, is that, when we're chasing women specifically, or chasing anything for that matter, but women specifically, that we are signaling that we don't have something. And this gives off a sort of needy energy that repels what we actually want away from us. A great example of this is when I was younger, and this actually has nothing to do with women, but when I was younger and I was getting into building my personal brand, I really wanted endorsements. For example, I have a clothing endorsement with the gym apparel brand TLF. That's this hat and this hoodie that I have on. And the thing is, I wanted these endorsements, whether they came in the form of, gym clothing or supplements or whatever. Today I have a gym clothing brand endorsement. I have a meal prep endorsement, and I'm about to announce another one here soon. But the point being is that I actually didn't approach any of these brands. So when I was younger, I actually had the opposite mindset, right? I was always the one that was looking out and trying to hit up these brands and trying to get a deal with them. But in the reality was, they just didn't want me, okay? This isn't exactly applicable to women because you as a man are always gonna have to do a little bit of the legwork, the pursuing from the beginning. But it is interesting to think about how this does mirror a lot of other aspects of life. As I said before, these brands actually approached me. They were interested in working with me, and because of that, I got better deals with them because they had the desire to work with me. And the reason that they had the desire to work with me is because I was posting valuable content, I had a valuable following for them, and getting their product in my hands or me wearing it is going to be valuable to them. So they wanted to work with me. I built myself into being valuable enough to attract what I want, okay? This is a very important part to understand. When this applies to women, for example, is actually very similar. When I was younger, around the same time in my life, I also spent a lot of time chasing after women. Of course, like I said before, you're gonna have to pursue women. That's the entire game as a man, all right? Most often you are going to have to pursue a woman to get that initial ball rolling. Now, women will often give you signs of interest, there's no doubt about that, but the thing is that you're gonna have to do that legwork. You might have to do that first initial, approach for conversation. You might have to ask her for her number, whatever it is, ask her on the first date, whatever. Chasing is different. Chasing is when you are constantly pursuing a woman that's not reciprocating interest in you. And the reason I titled this video what I did about how it keeps you broke, weak, and stuck is because when you spend a lot of your mental bandwidth and your energy on this stuff, what are you doing? You are stopping yourself from doing what I was talking about before, which is building yourself. See, if you want to become attractive to women, to opportunities in your life, the most important thing that you should be doing in your life is building yourself and making yourself more valuable. This value is going to be seen across the board, whether it's respect from other men, whether it's interest from women, whether it's career advancements for you, building a business, whatever it may be, attracting followers. I don't care what it is. The point being that you want to build yourself so you become more valuable, right? You're a more valuable man, and the more valuable you are, guess what happens? You have more opportunities in your life. That comes via with women, that comes via career advancement, all the things I was talking about before. But the problem becomes, and I ran into this for quite some time in my life actually, around my mid-20s to honestly a few years ago, I spent a lot of time and a lot of mental bandwidth on women. I became very, obsessed with pursuing certain kinds of women. And I think the reason this happened to me was a lot of different reasons, but one of them was when I was younger, I didn't get a lot of attention from women. So as I started to get more success with women and more attractive women into my life, I started to become kind of addicted to that, right? So then what started happening was I wanted all kinds of different women and all kinds of attractive women. So anyone that gave me a little bit of interest, I was just, over pursuing and oftentimes, kind of chasing. And to be honest with you, sometimes this did work. Sometimes it didn't require that much effort. And then sometimes, honestly, this got me in trouble. Because when it got me in trouble was that I was then just spending way too much energy and time on thinking about that stuff and doing that stuff, talking to that girl, pursuing her, thinking about a strategy with her versus building myself. Okay? And I can tell you with complete certainty that the major advancements in my life and growth, be it income, in personal brand success, in my music success with my band, bodybuilding success, has always come when I'm not focused on that stuff. It's when I'm focused on my personal development and my growth. If I am focused on that, that is where I see the most growth. And every single client I work with, this is 100% the case for them, because this is what happens. You become magnetic. You start to attract what you want. Things become easier for you. But it requires a lot of legwork, because you have to put that legwork in up front in building yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we all have to go through as men. I want to approach all three of these things I said real quick, because I think it's gonna really help you to understand this. So why did I say that chasing women will keep you broke? Well, if you chase women too much, you're trying to impress them all the time, taking them out to dinners, buying them drinks, taking them on vacations, whatever it may be, spending just crazy amounts of money on women, you will literally go broke, okay? Unless you're an ultra rich guy. Now, the thing is, if a woman truly wants you, you're not gonna have to do any of this, right? Women that really want you will make it very easy on you. You're not gonna have to go to extreme lengths to impress them. You as the man are gonna be what they want, and they're already sold on that in the first place. So you don't have to go above and beyond to do that. In fact, a lot of women find it kind of pathetic when men do this. Trust me on that. The second point is that it keeps you weak. Well, how does it keep you weak if you're chasing women? Let me explain. It's actually very simple. When you are chasing women constantly, what you're really looking for is a lot of external validation. I went through this myself. When I was talking about that phase I went through in my life, yeah, I was going through that. I was looking for a lot of external validation because I didn't have it when I was younger. Now, what this does is it's actually very dangerous, because you're putting your self-worth, a lot of it, not all of it, but probably a lot of it, in the hands of women. So then when this woman you really want maybe doesn't want you back, or on the same timetable, or whatever it may be, or plays games with you, you end up giving up a lot of that self-worth, and you start to view yourself a little bit more negatively. No matter how strong and resilient you are as a man, if there's a woman you really want and you're putting so much emphasis and focus into it, and she doesn't reciprocate the way you want it to, you're gonna start to see yourself worse. And that's just a fact. And this is why it keeps you weak, because you're so focused on that validation from that, rather than building yourself and allowing these things to filter into your life the way I was talking about. And number three, the reason it keeps you stuck is very simple. Every hour you spend scrolling social media and trying to interacting with girls on DMs and comments or whatever, trying to impress them, is another hour you're wasting in building yourself, pursuing your goals, and making yourself a more attractive and valuable man. Plain and simple. The more DMs you send, the more comments you do, trying to follow girls and find women on social media, this is time that's valuable that you could be spending on social media, actually building yourself and building a brand for yourself, or doing whatever, reading a book. It doesn't matter, okay? You want to make sure you're building yourself, and what you'll notice is as you build yourself and you do become more valuable as a man, you're not gonna have to do this anymore as much, right? Women start to follow you, they start to interact with you a little bit more. They start to show you signs in the gym, right? And then it's just a simple conversation to kick things off, and next thing you know, you go out with her. And this is the fact of the matter, is that life for men that are stuck in that realm of chasing is almost never productive. It's almost always going to lead to frustration, and then you think that women are the problem and all this different stuff. And trust me, there are a lot of women that are the problem. But the fact of the matter is, it all starts and ends with you. You have to build yourself as a man to be valuable and to be attractive to women. As men, we have to do this, right? This is just the reality of the world we live in. We have to build ourselves into being attractive and being valuable. This is just the reality of being a man. Now, I want to make sure this message is coming across correct. The solution is not to avoid women completely or hate them or just stop pursuing them altogether. It's to prioritize yourself first. It's to make sure that you are the most important person in your life. So you're making your priorities first and foremost, your goals first and foremost, and that's what's most important. So if you have enjoyed this video today and you gained something from it, share it with a friend, leave a like on it, drop a comment about how you've struggled in the past with women. I would love a bunch of us men to rally around here and start to help each other. I want to help as many men as possible, so make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you in that next video.